Have you ever looked at your plate and thought, I'm eating healthy, so why don't I feel better? Maybe your energy is low, your digestion seems sluggish, or your joints ache more than they used to. You might be thinking it's just age catching up with you. But what if I told you the vegetables you think are good for you could actually be making things worse? Sounds surprising, right? But here's the truth. Not all vegetables are created equal, especially as we get older. Some of them can inflame your joints, mess with your digestion, and even sabotage your heart and brain health. And the worst part, they're probably sitting in your fridge right now. The good news, there are simple swaps you can make that don't just support your body, they can help you feel lighter, move easier, and even boost your memory. Yes, really. Because when you feed your body what it actually needs at this stage in life, everything begins to change. You sleep better, think clearer, and maybe, just maybe, feel younger than you have in years. So stay with me, because in this video, we're going to talk about 3 vegetables seniors should never eat and 3 powerful alternatives that can actually heal your body instead of hurting it. And I promise, nothing complicated, nothing extreme. Just real, practical advice that you can start using today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever eaten a tomato and noticed you felt a little bloated afterward? Maybe some acid reflux, or your joints felt stiffer the next morning. You're not imagining it. Tomatoes, especially when eaten raw or in large amounts, are part of a group of vegetables called nightshades. Sounds mysterious, doesn't it? But for many seniors, nightshades are anything but friendly. Tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, these veggies all contain compounds called alkaloids, which can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. And as we get older, our digestive systems slow down, our immune systems get a little more reactive, and suddenly that harmless salad isn't so harmless anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, tomatoes have plenty of nutrients. Lycopene, for example, is fantastic for your heart and prostate. But if your body can't process them properly, they might do more harm than good. I've spoken to so many people who, after removing tomatoes from their diet, found that their joint pain improved dramatically within weeks. That stiffness in the knees? Gone. The aching fingers in the morning? Way better. And here's the really exciting part. There's an amazing alternative that offers the same, and in some cases, even more benefits without the drawbacks. Ready for it? Beets. Yes, humble, earthy, bright red beets. They're rich in natural nitrates that support circulation and lower blood pressure, a big deal after 60. They help improve oxygen flow to your muscles and brain, which can sharpen focus and boost endurance. Some studies even suggest that beet juice can enhance cognitive performance in older adults. Imagine replacing something that made you ache with something that helps you think clearer. That's a win in my book. And you don't need to drink a whole glass of beet juice every day. Just roasting some slices in the oven with a little olive oil and rosemary makes a delicious side. Or tossing some grated raw beet into a salad adds both crunch and color. Let's pause here for a moment. I want you to think about how much your food choices can shape your health far more than any pill. It's empowering when you realize that small changes, like swapping out just one vegetable, can reduce inflammation and improve how you feel. Now, I want to talk about another common vegetable that tends to sneak into soups, stews, and even green smoothies: raw kale. I know kale has been hyped up for years as a superfood. But here's the part nobody tells you. Raw kale can be hard on your thyroid and your kidneys, especially for seniors. Why? Because it contains compounds called goitrogens and oxalates. Goitrogens can interfere with thyroid function, while oxalates can contribute to kidney stones, something you definitely want to avoid after 60. Now, kale isn't bad across the board. It has plenty of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. But when it's raw and eaten in large amounts, it can stress your body more than it helps. I've had viewers write to me saying, I thought I was doing everything right, green smoothies every morning, but I was still tired, cold all the time, and my hair was thinning. Once they cut back on raw kale and focused on gentler greens, they noticed big improvements. So what's a better choice? Let me introduce you to watercress. It's often overlooked, but watercress is one of the most nutrient-dense greens out there. In fact, it ranks higher than kale, spinach, or even broccoli on the nutrient density scale. It's gentle on the thyroid, easy to digest, and packed with antioxidants that fight aging from the inside out. Add it to your omelets, toss it into soups at the end of cooking, or mix it into your salad. It adds a slightly peppery kick and so much nourishment. Your thyroid will thank you, and so will your energy levels. Before we move on, let me drop a quick fact that might just surprise you. Did you know that one serving of watercress has more vitamin C than an orange? That's right, and vitamin C is essential for immune strength, skin health, and collagen production, which keeps your joints flexible and your skin resilient. Now, let's talk about one last common vegetable that might be doing more harm than good: corn. Yes, sweet corn, corn on the cob, corn in salads, popcorn corn is everywhere. And while it might be delicious, it's one of the most genetically modified crops out there, and it's often high in sugar and difficult for aging digestive systems to break down. Not only can corn spike your blood sugar, which affects your energy and mood, but it also tends to ferment in the gut, leading to gas, bloating, and discomfort. And if you're dealing with any level of insulin resistance, pre-diabetes or diabetes, corn can silently work against your efforts to stay balanced. So what can you enjoy instead? Here's where it gets exciting: green peas. These little powerhouses are gentle on digestion, packed with fiber and plant-based protein, and they help keep your blood sugar more stable. Plus, they're sweet, satisfying, and easy to add to almost any meal. Try steaming them and adding a pat of butter and fresh mint. That's a classic combination that never fails. Or mash them into a creamy spread with avocado and lemon juice for a twist on guacamole. Your taste buds won't miss the corn, I promise. And here's something most people don't know. Green peas are rich in cholesterol, a natural compound that supports stomach health and may even protect against certain types of cancer. When was the last time your side dish did that much for you? So, let's pause again. I want you to take a breath and let this sink in. Sometimes the key to feeling better isn't about adding more supplements or trying the latest fad. It's about subtracting the wrong foods and choosing better ones in their place. It's simple, it's sustainable, and it can transform your health one bite at a time. Are you feeling tired all the time, even when you sleep enough? This could be the reason, and it's not what you think. Inflammation from the wrong vegetables can weigh you down silently, day after day. But the moment you start nourishing your body with what it truly needs, everything changes. If you're finding this helpful so far, I'd love to hear from you. What's one vegetable you've always wondered about? Comment below, and I'll share a personalized tip just for you. And if you know someone who's struggling with joint pain, digestion, or fatigue, share this video with them. It could make all the difference. Now that we've talked about these sneaky culprits hiding on your plate, let's keep going, because the next part might surprise you even more. So, now that you understand why certain vegetables, even the ones we've been told are healthy, might be doing more harm than good as we age, let's go a little deeper. Because here's the thing: once you know what to avoid, the next logical step is knowing what to embrace. And some of these swaps are not just healthier, they can help reduce inflammation, ease joint pain, support digestion, and even boost your brain health. Let's talk about another vegetable that's often praised, but can secretly sabotage your energy and gut health: onions. Yes, those innocent white and yellow bulbs that end up in everything from soups to stir-fries. Now, before you panic, no, not everyone needs to avoid onions completely. But for many people over 60, they're a sneaky culprit behind bloating, gas, and even irregular digestion. Why? Because onions are rich in something called fructans, a type of carbohydrate that many seniors become more sensitive to over time. Our digestive systems simply don't break these down as efficiently as they used to. Instead of giving us nutrients, they ferment in the gut and cause discomfort. Have you ever eaten a meal loaded with onions and found yourself reaching for antacids or loosening your waistband a couple of hours later? That might not be a coincidence. Here's the good news. There's a wonderful gut-friendly replacement that gives your meals flavor without the side effects: leeks. Especially when cooked gently, leeks are easier on the stomach and offer similar aromatic benefits. They also contain prebiotics, which help feed the good bacteria in your gut and support smoother digestion over time. And speaking of the gut, did you know that healing your gut is one of the most powerful ways to fight inflammation and chronic disease? Many doctors are now saying, heal the gut, heal the body, and it starts with choosing foods that work with your body, not against it. Now, let's move on to the third vegetable you might want to reconsider, especially if you've been dealing with joint stiffness, foggy thinking, or blood sugar fluctuations. And that vegetable is corn. This one surprises a lot of people because corn is everywhere. It's in salads, soups, tortillas, chips, and even sneaks into drinks and condiments in the form of corn syrup. But here's the problem with corn. It's a high-starch, high-sugar vegetable that can spike blood sugar levels quickly. For seniors, that can mean fatigue, irritability, and difficulty managing weight. Even worse, most corn in processed foods is genetically modified and sprayed with chemicals like glyphosate, which may further irritate the gut and disrupt hormones. But wait, what about fresh corn on the cob? Isn't that okay? If it's organic and in season, fresh corn is certainly less harmful than processed corn products. But even then, it's best enjoyed in moderation. If you find yourself relying on corn as a major carbohydrate source, it's time to rethink that habit. There are better, more nourishing alternatives that give you energy without the crash. One of the best swaps? Butternut squash. It's sweet, naturally low on the glycemic index, and packed with anti-inflammatory nutrients like beta-carotene. Roasted, mashed, or blended into soup, it's comforting and easy on aging digestive systems. Plus, it supports eye health and immune function, two things that become more important every year after 60. Now, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about what to avoid: nightshades like eggplant and tomatoes, onions if you're sensitive, and high-starch veggies like corn. But what about the vegetables you should be eating more of? Ones that nourish your joints, protect your brain, and even help you sleep better? Let's start with a surprising one: beets. Yes, beets. They're not just for fancy salads or juicing trends. Beets are incredibly rich in nitrates, which help open up blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and improve circulation to the brain and muscles. That means better memory, better stamina, and even better sexual health. Did you know that some studies show beets may help delay dementia symptoms by improving oxygen delivery to the brain? That's no small thing. And if you've ever felt your hands and feet getting colder with age, or noticed that your energy drops in the afternoon, your circulation might be part of the problem. Adding half a cup of roasted or steamed beets to your lunch or dinner can make a meaningful difference. Try pairing them with a little olive oil and lemon juice. It not only brings out their natural sweetness, but also enhances nutrient absorption. Another powerful vegetable that seniors should consider adding regularly: broccoli sprouts. These tiny greens are like nutritional gold. They're far more concentrated in sulforaphane, a compound shown to help the body detoxify, reduce inflammation, and fight oxidative stress than mature broccoli. Just a handful of broccoli sprouts in your sandwich, salad, or smoothie can deliver benefits that support everything from joint health to brain protection. And if you've never tried growing them yourself, here's a fun idea. You don't need a garden. You can grow broccoli sprouts right on your kitchen counter in a jar. All it takes is a few seeds, some water, and 5 to 6 days. It's a rewarding activity and a powerful way to take control of your health from the inside out. Still with me? Great, because we're not done yet. There's one more vegetable I want you to start thinking of, not as a side dish, but as a daily medicine: dark leafy greens, especially kale and Swiss chard. These greens are loaded with magnesium, calcium, vitamin K, and antioxidants that help keep your bones strong, your blood sugar stable, and your brain sharp. But here's the key: cook them gently. Many people give up on kale because they eat it raw and find it too bitter or hard to digest. But if you lightly steam it or saute it with olive oil and garlic, it transforms into a tender, nutrient-packed powerhouse. And if you're worried about oxalates, especially if you have kidney issues, just blanching the greens before eating can reduce those compounds significantly. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed that certain meals leave you feeling more tired than satisfied? That after eating, instead of having more energy, you feel like you need a nap? That's your body's way of asking for a change. And it doesn't mean you have to give up everything you love. It just means it's time to listen a little more closely. Because food isn't just fuel. For seniors, it's medicine. It's memory. It's energy. It's freedom. When you start eating foods that support your digestion, your joints, your brain, you'll notice things shift. Your skin may brighten. Your sleep may deepen. And even that nagging stiffness in the morning might ease just a little. This isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. One better choice at a time. And remember, you're not doing this alone. There are millions of people over 60 waking up every day and deciding they want more out of life. More health, more joy, more freedom. Why not you? And if you're finding this helpful so far, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below with your biggest health concern right now. Maybe it's energy, joint pain, digestion, and I'll share a personalized tip in the replies. That's what this community is all about. We learn, grow, and thrive together. Also, if you have a friend, parent, or partner who might benefit from this message, share this video with them. It could be the nudge they need to feel their best again. Because here's something important. The secret to better aging isn't buried in a pill bottle. It's on your plate. And your next meal? It could be the start of something amazing. You've made it this far, and that tells me something important about you. You care, you're curious, and you're not afraid to challenge what you've always been told. So now, let's bring everything together. Let's talk about the 3 vegetables you should be eating more of, the ones that have the power to nourish your joints, sharpen your mind, and calm your gut starting today. We already mentioned beets, broccoli sprouts, and leafy greens like kale and Swiss chard. But there are 3 more that often fly under the radar, yet their benefits, especially for those over 60, are simply too powerful to ignore. Let's dive in. Artichokes, your liver's best friend. You may not think about your liver often, but it's doing hundreds of vital tasks every day: filtering toxins, breaking down hormones, and turning nutrients into energy. As we age, the liver slows down. That's natural, but certain foods can support it, and artichokes are one of the best. Artichokes contain compounds like cynarin that stimulate bile production, which helps with digestion and fat metabolism. They also support detoxification and may even help lower bad cholesterol if you've been feeling heavy, sluggish after meals, or noticing your skin dulling. It might not be just aging, it could be a tired liver asking for help. Try steaming a few artichoke hearts and tossing them with lemon juice, olive oil, and herbs. Or if you prefer something quicker, go for canned artichoke hearts in water. Just rinse them well and add them to salads or pasta. Fennel, the forgotten digestive hero. Fennel is one of the most underappreciated vegetables out there, especially for seniors. Why? Because it's a natural carminative. In simpler words, it calms your digestive tract, reduces bloating, and soothes gas. Its licorice-like flavor may seem unusual at first, but when roasted or sautéed, fennel becomes mellow, sweet, and incredibly satisfying. Many people over 60 struggle with sluggish digestion. They eat healthy, but still feel bloated or uncomfortable. Fennel can be a game changer. It's also high in potassium and vitamin C, two key nutrients for heart health and immune defense. Give it a try. Slice fennel thinly and roast it with olive oil until golden and tender. You might just discover a new favorite. Garlic, the anti-aging superstar. Garlic is more than just a flavor booster. It's a true medicinal food. For seniors, garlic can help in 3 major ways. Supports heart health by lowering blood pressure and improving circulation. Boosts immune function, helping the body fight infections more efficiently. Fights inflammation, which underlies many age-related diseases. Studies even show that regular garlic consumption may reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Yes, that little clove you add to dinner could be protecting your brain as much as your heart. Now, raw garlic gives you the most powerful benefits, but it's not for everyone. If raw is too strong, crushing it and letting it sit for 10 minutes before cooking helps preserve some of the healthful compounds like allicin. And if you're on blood thinners or managing a medical condition, always check with your healthcare provider before dramatically increasing garlic intake. So, where do you go from here? At this point, you might be thinking, okay, I know which veggies to avoid. I know which ones to eat more of. But how do I actually make the change? It starts with one simple idea. Crowd out the bad by adding more of the good. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. In fact, the most lasting change happens gradually. Here are a few small, realistic steps you can take this week. Replace your usual side of corn or potatoes with roasted butternut squash. Add a handful of steamed kale or Swiss chard to your omelet or soup. Try a beet salad with walnuts and feta for lunch. Your heart and brain will thank you. Snack on cucumber slices or lightly steamed artichoke hearts instead of crackers. Keep a jar of pickled fennel or fresh garlic olive oil in the fridge to flavor meals naturally. And remember, this isn't about restriction. It's about renewal, renewing your relationship with food, renewing your energy, renewing your connection to your own body's wisdom, because as you age, your body speaks to you more clearly than ever. You just have to listen. A quick recap: the final 6 veggies. Let's do a final summary so it's crystal clear. 3 to avoid or reduce: tomatoes and eggplants if you have joint or autoimmune issues, onions if you're prone to bloating or digestive trouble, corn especially processed or GMO corn. 6 to add more of: beets for circulation, energy, and brain health. Broccoli sprouts for detox and inflammation. Leafy greens, kale, chard for bones, blood sugar, and clarity. Artichokes for liver and cholesterol support, fennel for soothing digestion, garlic for the heart, brain, and immune system. These aren't just vegetables. They're tools, they're medicine. They're your allies in aging gracefully, actively, and joyfully. Final thoughts. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this. You're not powerless ... and no matter your age, your diagnosis, or your starting point, you can begin again. You can reclaim your energy. You can feel better tomorrow than you did yesterday. ... It starts with your next meal, your next grocery trip, your next choice, and you don't have to do it alone. This channel is here to walk with you step by step through every challenge and every victory. So if you found this helpful, please don't forget to leave a comment with the veggie you're most excited to try. Subscribe so you never miss our weekly tips. Share this video with a loved one who needs to hear this message. Because when we share health, we share hope. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring, and most of all, thank you for believing in yourself. Until next time, stay vibrant, stay strong, and remember, your best years can still be ahead.